Hello again, Jerome here. Welcome to the 4th day of CRAPMAS 2023. Let's open another gift. Hopefully it won't be some terrible video game that I have to suffer through. Ha 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 ha. Alright, this one's in my face. Let's open this one. Ooh, PlayStation game. Let's find out what it is. Oh. Saints Row. Huh. Oh, the game is loose in the thing. That's what I like. This is the 5th Saints Row game. This is apparently a total reboot with a bunch of college kids instead of, Johnny Gat or any of the cool characters you've come to love over the last 15 years. So, yeah. Let's give it a whirl. Alright, well, this is how most modern video games start, with tedious paperwork ensuring the company that we're not going to do any illegal activity because, that's bad. Like, yeah. It sucks that it feels like a lot of video games nowadays are made by lawyers, or at least, it's all the same thing. Calibrate your screen, do this, do that. I understand the need for that in some instances, but Christ, can you just make games that work? Alright, a new Saints Row game, more purple fleur-de-lis everywhere. As a French-Canadian Quebecois, it's really fun to see all that stuff branded everywhere. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the new direction this went. Like, I'm as aware as most people that this is a total reboot for the more young crowd of today, which is really funny because the whole point of Saints Row was, well, at first it was just a GTA knockoff, but I think the whole point of Saints Row was that it was as offensive as possible, but like it didn't care if it punched up, down, or all around. Whereas nowadays it feels very much in line with the what was at modern at the time of this game's release, which was last year, where they're trying to pretty much just show this sense of young communities fighting against the man while also being criminals, kind of like that very good show Robin Hood, which makes me really proud to be a Canadian and pay taxes and make that show be financed. Yeah, it's the overall air of it has that sort of style, and I think what sucks about it the most is that it's not even like a genuine expression, like it might be for some of the designers, might be for some of the writers of the game, but as a product, this feels like it's people around a table who say, hey, this is what the kids like, and let's do that. Which has always been, I mean, like if you look in the 80s with Transformers and He-Man, they just went with what was popular, and it's fine. It's okay to go with the zeitgeist. I just find that it makes, especially in Legacy series, it just makes it complicated. Here I had a weird bug where it was really hard to get out of my car. I think you have to hold, it's not a bug but a feature, but you have to hold the triangle button on the PlayStation 5 to get out, or just press it. If you hold it, you switch to the roof, kind of like a Teen Wolf style. Here we have some cool banter between our main characters, who I would have really been down for an actual origin story. Like if it was these characters, slightly tweaked, but they were Shondi and they were Pierce and so on, instead of just being like characters that feel like them. Again, I find the whole sort of youth and rap culture stuff of the menus and stuff really fun. I like the designs. The options are really cool. The graphics are there. The gameplay is easy, and it's like, look, you got a wingsuit. That's pretty cool. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do some gliding sections later. The game looks really good. It looks. I know some people are a little tired of open world sandboxes, but the game looks good. It's a nice sandbox. I don't know if I can get into the characters. I find that they're very... It's becoming generic, that kind of character style. But again, everything about the gameplay to me is fine. Like I know it's got some issues. I know there's bugs here and there. But Saints Row is and has always been kind of buggy, right? It's always been. I've had a few UI problems. Like there was a tutorial directive that stayed up on screen for like the longest time, and sometimes it's a little weird. I wouldn't say hitboxes for a modern game, but it's weird to know where to align yourself to interact with things. But no, the game is fun. The AI is somewhat challenging. It feels like you're not just shooting at cardboard cutouts, but they feel like they engage in fights. The map is really cool. The customization, I haven't gotten too much into it, but it looks interesting. I think it's really just a case of who are you making this game for? Are you making this game for the people that are in my age group, like mid-30s, that are interested in like action games and over the top and basically an escape from reality? Or are you making just more of reality in what's in the news and especially what's on Twitter or X? And I think that is starting to shift a little bit, and to be honest, it's one of the reasons this whole culture war stuff where I kind of like got tired of participating and on either side, and I've always been kind of a centrist in terms of stuff. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I think my main way of living is DBA, don't be an asshole, and I think, yeah, I really don't care for politics, and I know quote unquote everything is political, but I think video games or art in general can serve as an escape from the doldrums of real life, from the stuff, and I do find that kind of annoying when games, not only like you can have like political stuff, you can have intrigue and stuff in games. It's more a question of there's a difference between integrating it in a story and just outright preaching to you, and this game was sold as outright preaching to you, which I think is a bit sad, because this game actually, like, it has its moments and stuff, but for the most part it's just a Saints Row game, and I think it hurt it a lot more than it should have to be front and center with its politics, whereas it is a decent game, and I don't think I'm speaking out of school here, where I think people want to play video games. They don't want to go to video school. If they did, cool. That's good for them. It's fine to like have your mind expanded, but sometimes you just want to go home and shoot a bunch of gangsters, right? So, yeah. If you're gonna get an action game this year, just get RoboCop. That was pretty much my game of the year. Anyways, no, but it like look here, it has some really cool stuff. Like the physics here, this is really nice. This is really cool. The explosions, everything feels nice and chunky. It's fun as a game. I think it just sucks that it killed the series as an artistic expression. It sucks that it turned people off so much that the game didn't sell very well, and ultimately that's how companies deal with things, as it's sold well. Like, look here, this is like yeah, sure, whatever, girl boss, hashtag, whatever, but if Johnny Gat or Shondi or anybody from the other games did that kind of stuff, we'd be into it. That's the thing. It is 90% Saints Row with an icing that's not to my taste, and not to a lot of gamers' taste, unfortunately. It's too bad, because you've got a decent game here. So I guess what I have in my hands here is the nail in the coffin of Saints Row, and, well, I'm gonna miss Saints Row. It was a fun time. Speaking of fun time, why don't you come back tomorrow for more of these? Won't you?